Good morning, guys. So we're gonna make fruitcake today. Oh, it's a very snowy day here. All right. So try that light. Maybe that's a little bit better for you. Okay. So, like I've said, this is my grandmother's recipe. We're going to make the cake and then we'll talk about pans in a second. So, just going to move this for a second. So, what I have here is, let me take this off. I don't even know why I did that. Okay, so in here I have 1 cup of chopped dates, 1.5 cups of raisins, and I have glazed cherries. Do not use the candied things. This recipe only calls for glazed. But I mean, if candied is what you like, then, you know, go for it. I've never had it like that, but... And then I do... where'd my 1/4 cup go? 1/4 cup. Oops. Rolling over of frozen cranberries. Cranberries aren't your thing. Add extra raisins. In here, I actually put 1/4 cup of currants, because I love currants. Okay. We used to pick them off the trees at my grandma's house all the time. So I eat currants all the time. I love them. So I'm just going to stir this up. Okay. And I got a bit of golden raisins from an, you know, the leftover of a bag, and I have a little bit of lemon zest in there. Okay. And then I'm going to add 1/4 cup of flour to that. Not whole wheat flour. Just to kind of get those berries covered. Because in total, you're going to need 2 cups of all-purpose flour. If you guys don't have a KitchenAid, I made this many years without a KitchenAid. Okay, I'm going to gently fold it in with the KitchenAid, the fruit, and then I'm going to finish it with a spoon, okay? All right. So we got those combined, okay, with the flour. So I'm just going to set that off to the side because we don't need it just yet. And I'm going to put my mixer back in. Make sure you guys can see that. Okay, so in here, I'm going to put the sour cream, baking soda. Guys, I'm going to put all the instructions in the description box, okay? But I have the butter here. Now the Christmas pudding, as we call it, but other people call it steamed carrot cake. I've had to order the suet. I can't get it right now. So, okay. So, now the sour cream is a cup as well. I'm just going to add the nuts on top of my fruit because I need the measuring spoon. Okay, so a cup of sour cream. And I'm going to do the sugar first, guys. So 1 cup of sugar, okay? 1 cup of white sugar. Now my mom always made this in the summertime and put it in the freezer. But I don't know. I kind of like doing it at this time of year. And then it just sits in the fridge and, you know, gets all happy in there, you know. So I'm going to beat this till it gets all creamy, okay? Like I said, for many years I didn't have a KitchenAid, so don't think you have to have a KitchenAid to make this. A hand mixer would work just perfect. Many years I didn't even have a hand mixer and I did it all by hand, so. It's a few steps, guys, but seriously, it is the moistest cake. Now, if you want this dark, like a dark fruit cake, add the brown sugar. I've done that and layered it, but I'm not into doing that extra step today. So I would do, like if you wanted, you could do like half a cup of brown, half a cup of white, and it's a beautiful tan color. And then we're gonna add the egg. I was supposed to add the orange rind there in here, but I just threw it in the fruit. I actually like it better in the fruit. And then we just combine that up. And then we're gonna add our egg, our sour cream. I'll get that measured out now. And I do, when I'm making these fruit cakes, I do not do low calorie sour cream. I eat it once a year. That's it. So I figure, poo on the calories. I'll worry about that in January. Gotta get another sour cream, guys. I hope you guys enjoy this recipe. I mean, this is all I kind of know, so, I mean, if you guys do something different with your fruitcakes, let me know. That would be cool. And then, I actually have a video coming up next week. Subscriber sent me her Oma's chicken soup recipe, and we're going to make that together. I think that'll be super cool. But with Michael's birthday being tomorrow, a lot kind of going on. Alright, so now we're going to add the sour cream, okay? Sorry guys, there's no other way to do this. Alright. Alright. Okay, and then we're going to add this egg. I'm so going to miss my chicken eggs, guys. Alright, mix that together. I'm going to add 2 pinches of salt in there. I'm going to turn this up just a tad. And then I'm going to scrape this down because I have sour cream on the side here. Got to get all that good stuff in there. Now, you can add alcohol to this. I don't do that. But I mean, if you want to put some brandy on it or vodka on it, on the fruit overnight, you go for it. I had an employee once in one of my old jobs, and she found out I loved fruitcakes, so her and her family made fruitcakes. And she brought me in some fruitcake. Well, I'm sitting at work eating this fruitcake, and I'm getting drunker and drunker by the minute. And apparently they take that fruit and ferment the fruit for 3 months. And she didn't tell me, and I don't drink, so you can just imagine what I look like. It was funny, but sad all at the same time. So we're gonna add some flour to this now, okay? Now I'm gonna do this at a 1/4 cup measurement, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna add 1/4 cup. It was pretty funny. I didn't think it was too funny when I had to go home because I was drunk at work. But I guess they empty their liquor cabinet and they dumped all of these different kinds of alcohol in there. I wondered why that fruitcake was so tasty. All right. So now I'm going to start adding the fruit. Oops. I think I'm gonna add another 1/4 cup of flour before I go any further, guys, and get that in there. Oop. And then we'll fold in that beautiful fruit. And that's it. Like, and it's not overly expensive to make, you know? Because really, I mean, if you have like a bulk store or whatever, you could easily just go to the bulk store and buy the glazed cherries if that's what you wanted. And, you know, the walnuts, there's a couple walnuts in this. If you don't want to do the walnuts, don't do them. I've done it many times. I couldn't get the walnuts, or walnuts were just out of my budget and I didn't do it. So, you know, it's kind of to each their own, you know, like you can give or take a few things. I wouldn't leave out sour cream. I've always wanted to try doing it with that Greek yogurt and see if that made a difference. But like I said, I only make this once a year. So really and truly, if and I don't eat this all myself, I give some of this away to a few people that I know love fruitcake. So I'm just gonna take this off, move my KitchenAid. All right, see if this is a little bit better. There we go. All right, so here's all the walnuts. And for somebody that's never made fruitcake before, the reason you coat your fruit is so that you can your fruit doesn't fall to the bottom. I forgot the soda, guys. I gotta put a teaspoon of soda, baking soda, in here. Knew I was forgetting something. In the soda goes. And I'll try to get this edited today and get this up. Tomorrow, definitely there will not be a video. And then if you think this looks a little dry, that's okay. Keep in mind that fruit is going to, you know, do a lot. You know, it's gonna, especially the cranberries, they're gonna put a beautiful color into this, okay? And that's it, guys. That is it. My grandma Rowe was a fantastic cook, but she was not a fancy cook or a fancy baker. But I'll tell you, she made some delicious stuff. And I love sharing her recipes with you guys. I feel like you know, I lost her really, really young because I was like the youngest grandchild out of, I think she had 56 grandchildren. So, you know, I lost her really, really young. So these are like really good memories for me, you know, and I get to share them now with you guys. She's got a couple other ones like icebox cookies. She was really well known for those. You you know, like her cinnamon buns, yeah, I've changed it up a little bit, but the base of that is her recipe, you know. So that's it. Like, the hardest part is cutting up the cherries. And even if you didn't want to cut up the cherries, you didn't have to, you know. So I just like a little bite of cherry in every single mouthful. So I'm gonna get my pans and we're gonna talk about the oven, and I'll be back in a minute. All right, guys, so we're gonna talk about pans for just a sec. Okay, so with a fruit cake you need lots of water. So underneath your fruit cakes or fruit cake, however many you're making, put water, like a water bath in there. And I put a ton of water in these. So I actually put these in the oven, fill them, and then I turn the oven on and let it slowly come up to temperature. So, and then we're gonna fill up the cast iron pans, put them in. This takes almost 2 hours to bake, guys. So it's a labor of love, but it's good. So, yeah, so I'm gonna put these in the bottom of my oven, okay? Fill them full of water, because you do need to check it. I check mine every 35 minutes or so, just to make sure that there's lots of water in there. And I just keep my kettle full and I keep adding water to it. But it's much easier to fill it in the oven with a kettle than it is to fill it here and then try to put it in the oven, okay? I've killed an element doing that. So I'm gonna get that part done, and then I'm gonna pull out some pans. All right, guys, so here's just a few pans that I have. I've made fruitcake in these many times. This one, you know, it's just a few tablespoons in the pans. Spray them really well. This is for like a larger, I do these ones. I did these ones for my mom, and she would have them like all year. And then this one is for like 2 people. But I'm gonna use the big cast iron today. Okay. So I got my cast iron pans here. I got my oven preheating to 325 with the water in there. Okay. And I'm gonna spray these generously. I had to break down and buy some spray. I couldn't get lard. So I don't know if I'm gonna need both of these, but I'd rather have them both sprayed, because this will puff up a little bit, okay? And these are really big pans, so I don't want them full. Okay. I'll be making these again, so, but I make them in the smaller ones. Okay. All right, so there's one. Doesn't that look beautiful? I think it looks so beautiful. Let's do number 2. So in total, for like fruit, I did have to go out and get new glazed fruit this year, okay? So for that, that was $7. But I'm gonna get a lot of cakes out of this. I'm gonna probably make 3 or 4 more. So, you know, for me, it just kind of, it's fine. So, because I love fruitcake. Like, I like it all year, and I ran out, so I like these in my freezer. All right. I want to get every single little drop out of there. Okay. There we go. That's it. So I'm going to put these in the oven when it preheats for an hour. Now, when you test this, your oven might be a little bit different than mine, but mine takes about 2 hours to make this, because remember, you got to check that water. So I'll see you guys back in a couple hours. All right, guys, so I took it out of the oven and I just let it rest. Look at that, and look at this. Look how moist that is. I'm going to cut a piece for us. It's coffee time in our house. But that's what the water does. It keeps it so moist. Okay, so let's cut this and I'll show you the inside. Okay. Now, that is a fruitcake. Check that out. It was so good. There's the inside. Look how moist that is. Now that is not a store-made fruitcake, but look how beautiful that is. Right there. And there's the bottom. Nice. That's from being on the rack, obviously. But isn't that beautiful? That is not your average fruitcake. Not at all. So, we're going to do it the way we do it. Let me know how you do it. But we smear butter on ours. Maybe not that much, but... But look, it's actually falling apart. I will actually leave it on the counter for a couple more hours. But look how beautiful that is. And it's not sweet. I'm making a mess. Alright guys. Well, I just want to thank you for hanging out with me today. Making this beautiful fruit cake. I hope you guys are enjoying these. If you have any requests, leave them in the comments below. Please hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. And I appreciate you guys all coming and watching. And I will chat with you guys super soon. Recipe will be in the description. Thanks a lot, guys.